As we navigate tax season here in Chaffee County, Colorado, it's important to understand property taxes and the exemptions for property taxes specifically that are available to certain members of our community. I get a lot of questions about this, so today I wanted to talk about 4 important exemptions: agricultural property tax, classification, senior citizen property tax, disabled veteran property tax, and a Gold Star spouse property tax exemption. So in Colorado, properties that are utilized for agricultural purposes might qualify for a favorable property tax classification. I've seen as low as a couple of dollars on big pieces of land, and it will be lower than the assessed value. And these properties have to be actively used for agricultural production, such as farming, ranching, or horticulture. This classification acknowledges the vital role that agriculture plays in our state's economy, and it aims to support those who work in or support those who work in this sector, meaning they're giving their land to allow those running animals or farms to make it work. Properties currently used for agricultural purposes, including crop cultivation, livestock breeding, or other standard agricultural activities, and that land should be used for agricultural purposes for a specified period, usually the whole preceding 2 years. And in some counties, you have to have some type of proof of income derived from the agricultural activity to make sure that it's visible that it was used for agricultural production. Okay, so the next one is property tax exemption for senior citizens. This is probably the one I get the question on the most, and this helps reduce financial burden on older homeowners who are on a fixed income. The exemption allows for 50% of the first $200,000 of the actual value of the qualifying senior citizen's primary resident to be exempted from property taxation. The state reimburses the county treasurer of that county that the senior resides in for the lost revenue, and the local services for the county remain funded. So to qualify, applicants must be at least 65 years old as of January 1st of the year that they apply. And the applicant has to have owned and occupied the property as their primary residence for at least 10 consecutive years prior to January 1st of their application year. So that's where it gets tricky for people sometimes. Colorado provides another property tax exemption for qualifying disabled veterans. And this exemption allows for 50% of the first $200,000 of the veteran's actual primary residence to be exempt as well from property taxation, very similar to the senior citizen exemption. And the state also reimburses the county treasurer for any lost revenue, which again ensures that local services remain well funded. So to apply, the veteran has to have sustained a service-connected disability while serving in active duty in the armed forces of the United States. And the United States Department of Veteran Affairs has to have rated the veteran service-connected disability as 100% permanent and total. So starting in the tax year 2025, veterans who have been awarded individual unemployability status by the VA are actually also eligible for this tax exemption. And that's a new thing, so pay attention. The veteran must also own and occupy the property as their primary residence and must have been an owner of record since January 1st of the current year only. So they can start this right away when they purchase the property if they've owned it since January 1st. Also, in recognition of the sacrifices made by many military families, the state of Colorado offers another property tax exemption for Gold Star spouses. So this exemption, again, allows for 50% of the first $200,000 of the actual value of the primary residence to be exempted from property taxation. The state, again, reimburses the county treasurer for lost revenue, and the applicant for this must be the surviving spouse of the military service member who died in the line of duty or was a veteran whose death resulted from a service-related injury or disease. So the surviving spouse must not have remarried to maintain eligibility for the exemption. And the Gold Star spouse must also own and occupy the property as their primary residence. Sensing a theme here. And they have to have been an owner of record from January 1st of the current year of the application. So there you have it. Those are 3 exemptions and the agricultural exemption status. Now on to regular old property taxes, which I also get many questions about. It may surprise you, but Chaffee County right here has some of the lowest property tax rates in Colorado. The median property tax rate here is approximately 0.36% lower I know that doesn't sound like a lot. The national median of 1% and the Colorado state median at 0.55%. So property taxes in Chaffee County are a primary source of funding for local services, including our public schools, road maintenance, and all emergency services. So the amount you owe is determined by two main factors: the assessed value of your property and the applicable tax rates. To calculate your property taxes, here's an equation to keep in mind. Assessed value equals market value times assessment rate. All right. That might be a little more math than you want to do, so talk to me if you need help with that. But let's talk about how you actually pay your property taxes. One of the most common methods is through escrow if you have a mortgage. If you have a mortgage, there's a very good chance that your lender is already handling all of this for you and keeping your property tax in escrow, because your lender does not want you to be delinquent on taxes, because then the county can own your property. So they have a separate escrow account managed by your mortgage company that will cover property related expenses such as property tax and homeowner's insurance. And every month when you make your mortgage payment, a little portion of that goes into the escrow account. And then when taxes are due, the lender pays them. So when you get that property tax bill at your residence, you do not need to pay that. Your lender is paying it. If you want to check in and make sure they're paying it, that's fine. What if your tax bill changes while you're in the property? That can happen. Your lender will conduct an annual escrow analysis, and some of you have probably gotten this before, that ensures that the right amount is being collected. And if your property taxes increase, which often happens, especially in Colorado lately, due to rising home values or local tax rate adjustments, then your monthly mortgage payment will go up. And that's not going towards your payment. That's going towards your tax escrow account. And your insurance could go up too, and that will also raise your payment. So if your tax bill decreases, you could get an escrow refund or have your mortgage payment adjusted downward, which is nice, but rarely happens. So make sure to check with your lender or your mortgage company before this tax season to ensure that everything is in order, the right amount of funds are there, or maybe you're being readjusted and you could get an explanation for that. Now you might be asking, wait, why is my tax bill changing? Well, property taxes are never a fixed expense. They can change over time based on a lot of factors in the community that you live in. So whether you're a new homeowner or a longtime Chaffee County resident, understanding the things that affects your tax bill throughout the year, such as voting measures, improvements, new schools, that can help you plan ahead and even take steps to minimize your costs. And property values are assessed every 2 years, but certain events such as big home improvements or new construction in the neighborhood can even add updates to the market and cause fluctuations within that 2-year period that are assessed before the 2 years is up. So take into consideration the local government budget and what's happening there, and try to keep yourself updated on this, maybe through city council meetings. That's all for today's property tax talk. Check out those exemptions and see if you qualify. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, or ask or comment if you have anything that you need to know. I'm Jessica Cheriton, your go-to Heart of the Rockies realtor, and I can help with anything real estate related, tax real estate related, whatever you need. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.